So this communism is about social ownership.
Welcome to the 12th edition of the Adam and Sheridan Show video podcast. Special listener and viewer mail edition. We're going to be reading.
You like us edition.
Finally, someone out there likes us.
Yes. If this is annoying, I've got my mala beads on my wrist and my shirt, which I'm gonna describe. I haven't.
Tell me what up with it. I don't know. What's up with the milkshake there?
I have a problem. All right, so this is obviously Tiananmen Square with a milkshake instead of a person. If you're watching this in 1080p, which you can, just by selecting the gear down this
button there.
This ways. Yeah.
And
it says resistance is not futile. So one, it kind of references Star Trek. I love that. Two, Tiananmen Square, which was a huge event in China's history and in the history of democracy and revolts. But what this is a shirt from Strong Hearts Cafe. It's not trying to be insensitive in any way because they make milkshakes named after people that inspire them because they don't know this gentleman's name. It's just the Tiananmen Square guy is what it's called. They have some after Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Noam Chomsky. Check them out. They're in Syracuse. They're wonderful vegan eats. But I just wanted to explain the shirt just in case anyone would find offense in it. It's not intended that way. It's intended to honor him, but also advertise.
And also, it kind of reminds me of that one song, Your Milkshakes Bring All the Tanks to the Square. Damn right, they're better than
I hate you
than
for
yours.
That.
All right.
I really wish you had not done that. Okay, so first... Can I congratulate myself? Should I? No, you go. This
is a segment. This podcast is for you, the loyal listeners who have been with us for the past week,
and for us,
because
who have received the compliments and really want to amplify them.
To
pat our own egos
from on high. There are a lot of ways to get a hold of us. One way is Facebook, and we have a message here from someone named Kurt Carlson.
It's written.
Yeah, he actually. Left a message on our Facebook page that says, quote, the A&S show desperately needs a call-in or a text-in or a Twitter-in or a Facebook-in segment. Do love you guys, quote unquote.
And we should do that. We should schedule a show where we either have people Skype in or we'll have people live tweet us, and we'll respond to your questions.
However, we do record a day earlier on the radio show, and this is obviously recorded on Friday.
This is recorded early because it's got to be edited. But if I can figure out the technology, we'll have people Skype in, and we'll try and do like a real time back and forth, and then post it as soon as possible after that. But. Thank you very much, Kurt Carlson. Is he a friend of yours?
I don't believe I know Kurt. So,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Most of the people are people we know and have strapped to chairs to listen to our show, which
force-fed them.
Which, the United Nations has now considered
condemned
a form
us.
of torture.
Yeah. The Adam and Sheridan Show is on their list. Speaking of which, Jason Sample, also on Facebook.
What? I didn't see that one.
In a rare moment, he says, quote, I listened to this week's show. Pleasantly surprised to hear the Foo Fighters.
Yes, go Jason.
And that was Sheridan's doing, and and that was a mistake because I actually came to the studio completely unprepared. I normally
came
come
unprepared.
I normally
if
come
we
to the
ever
studio,
stopped recording the show, that could be an outtake. But we don't really do outtakes. Now we just show ourselves being idiots.
Yeah.
All right.
But I had come to the studio unprepared, and I said I have nothing. And Sheridan said, here's the Foo Fighters. And I said, that's going to be the downfall of us. And it turns out, Jason says, it was great.
Very good band. I like them.
Matt Horowitz, also on Facebook, one of our Facebook likes, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I had posted something about a link to a story about Edward Snowden, who is, of course, still in limbo in Moscow.
Yeah.
And it was a supportive article.
Making speeches and stuff like that. It's really an interesting story, so I urge you to hear what he just recently said. So just search it right now.
He actually spoke with a human rights organization in Moscow. But Matt Horowitz, in response to that article, said, quote, I would like this post, but since everything one puts on Facebook is being intercepted, processed, and stored for all time by the NSA to be used against you, you should, by the NSA, to be used against you. You should get in the government's crosshairs. Instead, I'll just remain quiet. By the way, what does chilling effect mean? So that's his sarcastic way of saying that there can be no dissent now, because every time someone dissents in a public medium, Facebook, telephones, whatever, it's going to go to the NSA. You'll be put on Hoover's watch list, and
I
you'll
would,
be
I would
targeted
like to,
with a drone.
I would like to apologize preemptively to all my loved ones when I'm eventually imprisoned and possibly executed. So,
we'll see you at Guantanamo.
Yeah. Bye.
But thank you, Matt Horowitz, for writing in. And one more from me before we get to the meaty one.
Oh, fine.
A YouTube user, Jaroth, I think it is.
Jareth?
Jareth, Geroth, 1987. I think that is your brother-in-law's wife, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Quote, I must say I do thoroughly enjoy the introduction to our Facebook.
If that indeed is
YouTube.
Aaron, thank you so much. That's Kenny's handiwork, and we're actually going to be reading a couple of Kenny comments.
Now,
but,
he's a little bit more
eccentric?
combative, yeah.
Eccentric?
So,
I'm going to say eccentric.
eccentric is definitely true, but also confrontational. He's not
He is.
shy.
He is not shy at all about what he says, which is why I was extremely happy when he complimented me on YouTube and Facebook. He said, I was suffering from withdrawal.
We took last week off.
Yeah, we did take.
And he's talking about not having seen the episode.
Yeah, so that was very nice. But he said, as for the color timing on the episode, I think it looks fantastic. Not sure it was intentional since you guys don't usually film there, but it looked gorgeous nevertheless. Very early Polanski like Chinatown. The contrast and the muted colors with the chiaroscuro lighting really popped. Keep up the great work, guys. So we did use. I had stolen a light kit from my friend Kip, and it was woefully inadequate, to be completely honest. It did not light us well, so I corrected some of it in camera, but then I had to use, because I'm very new at this, I had to use a lot of post work to get the color grade correct and to get ourselves to stand out from the background. It's actually a lot of work, and it's something I really enjoy doing, and thank you so much for noticing that, because that's something I put a lot of work into. So that's one.
And this also reminds me that if you haven't seen the movie Chinatown, go out and watch it, because it's
absolutely. Yeah, you'll never look at your nose the same way again.
But he doesn't stop there. There's more. There's more comments.
Absolutely. Kenny Forbides again. I must say I have to guess this. That's not working.
The phone goes dark sometimes.
That's not working. I must say I have to disagree with some of your assessments. I'll concede the Egyptian revolutionaries had love for their nation in mind, but I saw the Occupy movement firsthand. He does live in New York. It all really started because a tripping hippie didn't have the change to buy a vegan bean burrito from the taco truck. Other passing stoned hippies became outraged at the business owner's attitude of entitlement, requesting compensation for his services. It then snowballed from there. Adam commented.
I responded, I think.
Yeah, he did. It actually started as a student movement protesting tuition fees and student loan debt, like the Red Movement in Canada. It started around the same time and had a lot of the same goals. So that's good history there. And it could have had some taco truck.
Okay, look,
things that
no one's disputing the fact that these were young college-age students who have a particular lifestyle. And we heard this kind of nonsense from the right wing back in 2011 when it was, quote, just a bunch of stinky hippies who need a shower. That's just a side issue. Basically, they were protesting tuition hikes and student loan debt, and it snowballed into Occupy Wall Street and the abuses of the capitalist system in general.
Yes, and that was...
And our point was, I think...
it was very good.
He was responding to last week's podcast where we were talking about how the working class in Egypt had successfbut enough pressure on Morsi to get him removed, even though it was by the military, unfortunately.
It was by the military. But yeah, thank you for writing in.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of people don't like the Occupy movement, which is very valid. A lot of people think that it was kind of amorphous, but it's a different kind of organizing, and it was one of the most successful campaigns in terms of getting people out. that's been recently had. So
It's a sign of life in the working class.
it is, absolutely.
And we need more signs like that.
Especially
and we need-
radicalism in the young.
Yeah, and if you listen to our radio show this past Friday and Sunday, we talked a lot about the Detroit bankruptcy and how that is that's going to be a trend that you're going to be seeing in other municipalities that are in debt, because almost every state is in debt. And unless we get up and say, no, we're not going to accept this, we're not going to allow our wages and benefits and our pensions to be taken away from us just so you can pay off Wall Street banks, we have to stand up and stop that, because certainly Democrats and Republicans are not going to do it. So.
Yeah, and we brought up the very new topic that we just started of the failure of capitalism and possible alternatives.
And someone
so
named
yeah,
Marx
definitely
too.
looks at that. Yes, he was an obscure writer.
Yeah, no one knows about him.
Mostly in Soho in London, kind of around the 50s.
Yeah, I think today he lives in South Florida. I think he's in one of those condos. So this has been our special listener mail-in segment of our YouTube channel. Please
keep commenting.
Yeah,
This is wonderful.
Give us the info. You can email us, AdamandSheridanShow@gmail.com. Mail us anything, whether we talk about it or not, even if it's a story you want us to cover.
Yes, or if it's something, anything we'll read you on air. We'll be very respectful. Thank you to everyone who's been writing in.
Facebook, we're available on Facebook.
We're available on Twitter. As I mentioned on the radio show, had a conversation with a writer that I ended up getting to read on the air. We're also on, I was going to say YouTube, but obviously.
Well, here we are. Yeah, you can comment down below. It's as easy as that.
Seriously.
But also,
I don't even pay attention.
Don't forget, WRFALP.wordpress.com, and if you click on the SoundCloud link, you can listen to all of our old shows in SoundCloud format, and then everything before June 20th you can listen to in MP3 format or streaming. So.
Let's do a unison camera B, just the regular website, okay?
Okay.
WRFALP.com.
You forgot it.
I did. Completely.
Wait, I thought we were doing .com.
I know. I completely did. All right,
that's
we
the time
messed
we
up.
should go
Sorry,
home and
camera
sleep.
B. We should. All right, this is a late show, so stay active.
Wait, this is
Maracas.
show number 12, right?
Maracas, yeah.
Okay.
Number of apostles.
Oh,
We
Matthew,
have an
Mark,
apostle show.
Luke, Jonathan.
Jonathan, the Metro Apostle. I'm Jonathan. I haven't been John since I was 6.
Yeah, come on,
Please.
guys.
Right.
I've got a law degree. I'm married now. Please.
I have written in several prestigious. All right.
I'm in a book. I don't know if you heard about it. It's called the Bible.
Been published. All right.
I hear it's pretty successful. All right, go ahead.